I'm Chun. I'm a father of 3. I grew up in the SAF, spent more than 20 years there before I joined politics as a continuation of my public service. I have since been through the Ministry of Social and Family Development, Ministry of Communications, Information and the Arts, Ministry of Defence, Secretary General of the NTUC, Ministry of Trade and Industry, and as I do this interview now, I'm the Minister for Education.
So, what originally drew you into politics?
Actually, I think the correct question is how did I actually ended up in politics, right? So one day the Prime Minister called me up and said, would you like to serve in another capacity beyond the SAF? So I said, sure, what would you like me to do? So that started the journey.
Oh, okay. But is there anything like inspired you to really want to pursue it, like passion-wise?
Well, whether is it in the public service or in the political service, the same question drives us, or drive many of us in public service and political service, and that is whether we will survive as a country for many more years to come. At this point in time, I always found it difficult to answer this question because I always thought that the work that we do will take many years to come to fruition. So I won't, in the short term, put it down as something memorable or not so memorable, because I always encourage my colleagues and remind myself that whatever we do, it must be for the long haul. Let me first clarify, when we say policy making, we don't mean just making the policy and then that's the end of it. Actually, policy making is a bit of a science and an art, but it all starts from the very basic fundamental of what do we want to achieve for our people and our country. Having set that goal in mind, then we ask ourselves what are the conditions, what are the circumstances, what are the challenges and opportunities. Then we figure out the policy possible for our people to accept. But that's only the first part of it. The more important part of policy making is how you actually execute. So in policy making, we always have this saying that it's better to have a simple policy well executed than a sophisticated policy that cannot be executed. Policy making is always in context. There's no one perfect policy that is relevant across all times. So whenever times and circumstances change, we must always re-examine the policy and ask ourselves, is the policy still relevant? Is the thing that we are doing still in context? And once those factors change, we must be prepared to tweak our policies or adjust our policies accordingly. Oh yes, certainly. I hope many of you will be very interested in not only making policies, but helping to execute the policies well. The more of you come and join us, the greater our chance of having a better talent pipeline for the future to take Singapore forward and to help Singaporeans have a better life.